Welcome to the June edition of commUNITY.
And you know what that means, Juneteenth and a little bit of pride.
Hi, I'm Pete Gallivan.
And I'm Claudine Ewing. Every year in June, we're talking about Juneteenth. Isn't it one of your favorite events?
Absolutely. Walking down through the Juneteenth parade and seeing everyone coming out. I mean, everyone is just happy to be a Buffalonian and part of the community.
And the food is oh so good. But there's meaning behind Juneteenth. Take a listen.
Juneteenth began in Texas, but there's a story behind that. 1863, Emancipation Proclamation is signed. Many folks, of course, don't have the luxury of having a communication like we do, and it took a while for it to reach certain parts of states that were still having slavery. Many soldiers were dispatched to different places to spread the word. And by the time that one particular soldier reached Texas, a year and a half had lapsed. We also think that maybe some masters turned around and decided to withhold the information so they can get an extra crop in. But by the time it reached Texas, we started celebrating. Blacks started celebrating. Slavery was over. June the 19th. And that's why we celebrate June 19th.
Buffalo's Juneteenth Festival is celebrating 49 years. In fact, Buffalo's Juneteenth Festival is one of the oldest in the nation.
My job now is to make sure that Juneteenth lasts for another 49 years, all right? So we need to be able to pass the torch so young children will be able to enjoy Juneteenth.
And that's why people were singing as the ceremonial flag was raised in Niagara Square. It's red, black, and green.
And I am proud to be African American in the city of Buffalo and the United States of America. So as we stand here boldly today to acknowledge Juneteenth and celebrating how free-ish we are, because we're not there yet. We're not there until everybody can feel equality.
And a sea of togetherness.
And as we move forward, not forgetting what took place, but honoring it, what took place, and what we're continuing to do by being extremely intentional with our words and our actions.
Keeping the culture alive, that's really what it's about.
Buffalo City Hall will be closed on June 19th in observance of Juneteenth. The Queen City was one of the first cities to recognize Juneteenth as an official paid holiday for government workers. The raising of this flag.
We are now creating a very historic moment in the city of Lockport. This has never been done before.
Never before has the city of Lockport raised a flag to recognize Juneteenth.
I fought for this for 3 years. I didn't think it would happen, but because of the office that I sit in, thanks to this man here, it happened.
Notice the flag has a star representing Texas, and the red, white, and blue is America. Talk to the people of Lockport who are not people of color and explain to them why this is important.
Diversity means a lot to me. It means a lot to those people around me. And it's time. It's time that we all come together.
At one point, us as black people, we were considered property. We weren't even human. So now to be able to fly our flag and say we are free, it means the world.
Paula and myself are just the two minority folks, black folks who work for the city. So
that part.
When you come, we are definitely not represented well in the municipal building. So we are hoping that, more folks see the benefit for working in the city, more folks see the benefit for living in the city. There's a lot that Lockport has to offer.
A city that has been embroiled in racial issues is trying to make change.
We've had concerns throughout. I mean, diversity hasn't always been number one. But now, by placing this flag here at this particular point, creating history for Lockport, there's no question that we want to work with all. We are all of one culture, and we need to bring people together.
When you think about what Juneteenth is all about, it was about freedom, right? For all those years that you lived in Lockport, did you feel free?
No, absolutely not. And being the fact that I'm the first black woman to sit in my office speaks volumes, and then to have this happen as well, it's a great day.
Over at Spill Your Creativity, the owner, Lockport born and raised, is all about moving forward and recognizing Juneteenth is a win for people who for so long felt ignored in Lockport.
I come from a family of entrepreneurs, self-starters, go-getters.
And it's driving him to do more and help others.
What's it been like, though, being Black in Lockport?
It has been a struggle, I won't lie. But I feel like it's a representation of the society in a whole.
Who is he?
Martin Luther King.
So I could
stay woke. So this is the thing about, like, you know what we went through, this is where we can go. So making sure that dream stays alive and that we have hope. Woke comes from Black culture. So to stay woke is just to be aware and to have awareness and to understand what is going on. Don't be oblivious to a situation and a certainty. And that sometimes words can be taken out of context and be used for someone else's agenda. That anti-woke scenario, that's where that comes from. We dream when we're asleep, but when you're awoke, you can take awareness and you can take action.
And so what does Juneteenth mean to you?
Juneteenth is about celebration of where we came from and where we're going. This is an opportunity where people can learn about culture, life, and love, and just be united in that.
Did you know New York has established a community commission on reparations remedies?
There's 9 total commissioners throughout New York State.
And Tim Hogues of Buffalo, who serves as the New York State Civil Service Commissioner, is on that panel.
We are assigned to look at and study the harms of slavery and racism and all the inequalities that have impacted New York State residents.
People always feel like, why do we have to have this conversation? It's over, but it's not over. Every time we go back home and we look in our communities, particularly those of us who represent communities of color, we get reminded every day that it's not over and that the struggle continues.
What really could be the outcome?
So that is an excellent question. And so part of the commission is to get out across New York State and not only educate, not only do research, but have conversation with communities to hear their suggestions, to hear their input, to hear their stories.
And there is state money set aside for this commission.
This commission was provided $5 million to do the work. And so that means that it's not just the commission that they're throwing out there and not providing any resources to. We have $5 million to be able to do research.
Commission members aren't paid, only reimbursed for actual and necessary expenses. After their first meeting, the commission will have 1 year to give recommendations to the legislature and governor.
This is not just about who we're going to write a check to and what the amount is. It begins the conversation of one, recognizing the issues that affected Black people and descendants of slaves in this state. New York is known as the Empire State for a number of reasons, and one is because sometimes as New York goes, the country goes. And I think at some point this country needs to recognize what was done to people.
Keep in mind, recommendations for reparations could be money and or policy changes.
From flags to parades, we are celebrating Pride Month here on Community. That's all coming up next. Welcome back to Community. It is June, and it's the month we celebrate Pride here in Western New York.
Groundbreaking things have happened in Buffalo when it comes to the LGBTQ plus community. But first, the flag was raised outside of City Hall.
Your ability to march to City Hall 30 years ago is the reason why I have the ability to be elected and serve on the Buffalo Common Council as someone that is openly gay.
The theme of this year's Pride Festival is Now is the Time. Say it with me, now is the time. Now is the time to celebrate, to come together.
And I'm so proud of all of us. We're still here.
It wasn't that long ago that celebrations like this did not happen in our city. and that many members of our community were not valued in our city. Hopefully, those days are long gone, never again to return in the city of Buffalo.
These extraordinary leaders, these trailblazers, helped to create an environment here in our community that protected and enhanced civil rights and human rights for the LGBTQ community.
Buffalo Pride is a joyous commemoration of LGBTQ plus history, culture, and an annual display of strengthening power of open arms of diversity.
We continue to march on with great pride and great dignity and great respect for everyone, no matter who they are, no matter what they look like, and no matter who they love.
I've always found that flag to be a symbol, and I think that's why it's inspiring to me. A symbol that the city welcomes me. A symbol that this city welcomes you to be your own authentic self and to maintain that while you're here. And also a city that represents and values diversity.
All people, once you've tasted freedom, you cannot go back. There are those who are trying to take our freedoms away, and we must stay vigilant, mindful, and support each other. We might have our differences, but we must support each other.
Looking around here, you have all walks of life. Everybody is here. Everyone comes together as one united front, and you just want to be with everybody. It's a great, friendly atmosphere. Kids are dancing, all ages. It's amazing.
Happy Pride.
This is the best part of summer in Buffalo. The weather is amazing. You get to be with everybody. It's a community feeling. It brings everyone together, no matter any walks of life there are. Happy
Buffalo is so great. We have the Pride Festival. We have Allentown. We have stuff going on all over Buffalo. Summers are great. There's no better place to be in summer than Buffalo, New York.
Get smiling, get smiling. I'm soaking it all up, man.
This is an amazing way to start summer. We're starting summer celebrating life, celebrating each other, celebrating love, celebrating acceptance, and that's what Buffalo's all about. So this is the beginning of a Buffalo summer. We're gonna have an amazing time every weekend, and we're here to welcome all, accept all, and love all.
You know, last fall, when I was down in Galveston, Texas, visiting with my good friend Judy, I came across something related to Juneteenth that really caught my eye. That was a special mural, and I actually grabbed some pictures of them to bring it back home to share with Claudine and other people. Well, now I'm finding out that that same vision is coming back home right here to Buffalo. On that 5,000 square foot building wall in downtown Galveston, you can't miss it. NBC Nightly News and our Houston, Texas sister station covered it back in 2021 when the Juneteenth Legacy Project unveiled the mural created by artist Reginald C. Adams and his team.
We were able to bring to life that mural over the course of about 27 days. We moved about 325 gallons of paint, and there was about 1,300 man hours that went into bringing that 5,000 square foot mural to life.
The images depict the actual signing at this actual location on June 19, 1865, now Juneteenth Day, when a Civil War Union general and his black Union troops enforced President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation to free the slaves and ensure equality. The idea under the Absolute Equality website for Juneteenth-themed murals has spread to cities around the country under the guidance of Adams.
We do have opportunities in each city to tell the story of Juneteenth through the eyes of a very localized lens. So we're focusing on individuals who have been on the forefront of freedom and emancipation for the African American community. And so each mural is different, each mural is unique. The historical people, places, and events that kind of mark that moment in time for that city is what you'll see.
In 2025, Buffalo was on the list for creation of our own Juneteenth mural, using elements of Western New York's ties to racial equality efforts, ranging from the Underground Railroad to the African American Heritage Corridor on Michigan Street and more. Leroy Johnson, who's known as the brother of the late musician Rick James, is involved.
He's a phenomenal artist and an attorney, has really been kind of driving the interest in the Buffalo community. There's just logistically a lot that goes into finding the right community partner, finding the right walls, identifying the right artists, and of course, having the financial resources to produce the murals. The seed has been sown, and I'm pretty confident, given the attention and the people that are around the table, that we'll be seeing absolutely quality mural in Buffalo for 2025.
You know, it is Juneteenth and it's also Pride Month, but it's also Black Music Month.
We're going to get to know a guy from Buffalo who is doing some big things. His name, E. Will. Welcome back to commUNITY.
And now a story 105 years in the making. What? Is she 100?
This lady is 110 years old, and she lives right here in the city of Buffalo. We have to give a huge shout out to Brunette Washington. Her family calls her a super centenarian. She's 110 years old, born in Alabama in 1914, migrated to Lackawanna in 1937, married 70 years. Mother of 4, grandmother of 9, great-grandmother of 9, great-great-grandmother of 10, and great-great-great-grandmother of 1. At age 50 years old, she obtained her driver's license. At 100 years old, she toured the White House. This woman, Gail Wells, she served on the inaugural committee that founded Juneteenth in Buffalo. She's the reason many pursued higher education at Buffalo State. An urban planner, founder of Buffalo Freedom Gardens.
Health is also about balance, stress, exercise, and what you eat.
You may not have known she co-founded the Black Dance Workshop of Movement and Center for Positive Thought. Buffalo lost another great woman in June, a wife, mother, grandmother, sister, and friend. This is what she told Channel 2 as she was honored in 2023. It was always about helping others.
We need to support our youth, and we need to provide them with the understanding of our rich history, who we are and where we've come from, and we need to encourage them to do their best, to seek excellence, and to also love who they are and focus on how they can improve the community.
Gail Wells was 74 years old.
Madison Francis can bring her game anywhere, from high school to an international stage.
I just got sent an invitation, and so I knew, I'm not gonna let it go to waste. So I went and got to know the girls and played my best, and it kind of just worked out in my favor.
Francis, just finishing up her junior year at Lancaster, is now headed for Columbia, where she will represent the United States on the women's U18 national team.
It means the world because I know all the trailblazers like Diana Taurasi, Asia Wilson, they all set a tone for USA basketball, especially women's basketball in general. So it's good to lead in their footprints and make a statement for myself.
The Lancaster girls basketball star was one of 12 players from a pool of 26 athletes to be selected to compete in the FIBA U18 Women's AmeriCup in mid-June.
We all celebrated, we jumped up and down, hugged each other. So it was a great experience overall. And I was so glad I got the opportunity, got invited to it. So I'm just soaking it all in still.
Now soaking in a dream, the 6'2" forward and 5-star recruit, according to ESPN, still had to try twice to achieve.
So last year I got invited to 3-on-3 USA basketball. So I knew from there, unfortunately I didn't make that one, but I knew I did want to make a USA team, so I kind of just worked hard all this year, and I got invited this year, and I made the team.
He is
Eric E. Will Williams.
music producer, and he's been musical director for big names in R&B, including Anthony Hamilton.
Every time I close my eyes, I wake up.
Jodeci. Fantasia.
Buffalo born and raised, and now you are like one of the movers and shakers in the music industry. How did this journey start?
I'm a church kid, grew up in the Open Door #1 Church of God in Christ. It was located at the time, 330 Broadway. Grew up in the McCarley Garment / Fruitville. And there was a store called Unistage that was across the bridge. And I would go there every day after school and learn how to play keyboards.
Bass player Rodney Appleby and others helped him.
My pops, Eric Williams, my Uncle Santo. Well, I got my start with a guy by the name of Teddy Riley, Blackstreet and Guy.
He landed in Charlotte, North Carolina with faith, talent, and hard work. And he talked about working with some of the greats.
She's just a straight up powerhouse, like Fantasia, New Edition, BBD.
He's a hometown boy.
Buffalo, for me, was and still is a kind of undiscovered music mecca. There's so much talent, there's so much sound there that the world doesn't know. And Buffalo has a sound. It's a dirty, grungy, funky sound. Understanding the musicians in Buffalo, we can play pretty much any kind of music.
Why is your story important for people to hear and know?
It's not how you start, but it's how you turn out. So many of us, we come from a rocky foundation. When I say rocky foundation, meaning there was nothing set up for us to really become. We had to figure it out. Some of us, we didn't grow from the dirt, we grew from concrete.
In his words, Buffalo taught him the hustle, the go-get-it mentality.
My story is one that connects with others that say, hey man, there's nothing special about me. I have faith, work ethic, and I stayed the course.
And he has a new single out called Crazy for Your Love with two big artists.
I'm a city boy from Buffalo that had a dream, man, y'all. So let's support one another. Let's keep each other lifted up. And let's do what we should do. Let's love, give love, and receive love.
Eric E. Will Williams, still rocking.
Just like that, another month goes by here in commUNITY.
And we have celebrated just about everything happening in the month of June and really beyond.
Yeah.
How about being 110 years old?
Wow. Celebrate every day and every year for sure.
Enjoy every minute of your life. Thanks for joining us on commUNITY. We'll see you later.